Hello everyone, good day. I'm back for another lecture. I am Mr. Mark Anthony De Lumpines, your instructor for this course, Organization and Management. In today's lecture, I will be discussing to you Chapter 2 of the course with, uh, with the topic Chapter 2 of the course, the management process. So the management process focuses on the gems of management. Okay, the qualities of a gem. Okay, the qualities of a gem. When you say gem, it refers to a mineral or organic substance cut and polished and used as an ornament, as seals, items for assurance, and as talisman or good luck charms for others. What are the qualities of a gem? Like for example, what are the qualities of a gem? A gem, um, the qualities of a gem are the following: beauty, rarity, and durability. Gems are cut to bring out their natural color and brilliancy and to remove flaws, right? Like gold, diba? Gold, gold are cut to bring out its natural color and to bring out its brilliancy. Its beauty depends on hardness and resistance to cleavage or fracture. Now, gems are part of Earth's beautiful and valuable compositions that come even in the lightest and smallest forms. They are classified as minerals. Gemstones are also regarded as the fundamental building blocks of the Earth. They're really important, the building blocks of the Earth. Fundamental building blocks of the Earth. Diba? That's according to R.M. Joel. When you say fundamental building blocks of the Earth, they are really important, diba? They're really important minerals of Earth. They serve as building blocks of the Earth. Now, um, our topic today has something to do with gems that you know, diba? The gems that is beautiful, rarity, and durable, diba? What we are talking a while ago are gemstones. Gemstones that are beautiful, rare, and said to be the fundamental building blocks of the earth. Now, these gemstones will be compared to the gems of management. These gemstones are compared to the management process, diba? Which also considered the gems of management. Now, the gems of management, by analogy, stands for the four important management cycles. G for goal setting, E for execution, M for measurement, and S for sustaining operation, sustenance. It stands for four important management cycle. Thus, just like the gemstones of the earth, gems of management also are very important. In fact, if the gemstones are said to be the fundamental building blocks of the earth, the gems of management are said to be the fundamental blocks that contribute to the success of an enterprise. So the GEM stands for the four management cycle or the management process: goal setting, execution of the plan, measuring results, and then sustaining operations. The gems of management or the four management cycles serves to describe the management practice itself. Like I'm talking about goal setting, executing the plan, just the four management cycle. They comprise the whole management practice itself, or they can serve as you can describe in general what management as practice is. Just like precious stones of the earth, the gems of management are fundamental blocks, meaning important process that contribute to the success of an enterprise. Okay, goal, execution, measurement, sustenance. These are the four pillars that propel an organization to survive, grow, and reach greater heights. They're really important, diba? Management cycle. They are really important. In fact, they are served as the four pillars that propel an organization to grow, that propel an organization to survive and reach greater heights. Like for example, an organization will set a goal. Now, this goal will be useless if not executed. Therefore, it must undergo the process of execution. Now, the execution or implementation of the goal must be from time to time measured. That is why we need to measure results to know how far we have, how far um, um, natadapit, 'di ba? Asa nakataman sa imong organization, 'di ba? From time to time there should be performance appraisal, measurement of results. And then there is a need also to sustain growth and operation in order to ensure that the goals are really attained, thereby ensuring that organization can survive, grow, and reach greater heights. The gem serves as tools that leaders use to galvanize a workforce into action, because the gems talks about the management practice itself, the management process. So it serves as the tools of the leader to galvanize work, to transform workforce, di ba, into action. It is solid anchors that ensure the organization staying power when crisis looms. Also, we cannot really deny the fact that in handling an organization class, to be a manager is not that easy. In fact, the burden is in your shoulder. Like nasa imuha, you are accountable to the organization, to the people, and to the its stakeholders. May nasa imo pag-manage ang success sa organization, and also dako og role ang imuhang mga tawo. Now, it is really possible that an organization can experience crises, problems. Now, if you as manager, if you really follow the gems or the management process or the management practice itself, if you are confronted with problem, you cannot immediately determine to what aspect or what part of the management practice or management process you fail to address. Like for example, nindot kay ang goal. The plan for the organization, the plan of the organization is well crafted, well implemented. But paabot sa implementation, wala na sunod kung unsa ang naa sa plano. Ang problema naa sa implementation. Now, once you follow the gems of management or the process itself, you can easily identify nakadapit, ay mong problema. So, ang problema is nasa execution. So, dito katutok sa execution. It is really a solid anchor to ensure the organization staying power when crisis looms. Now, I'd like to introduce to you the management process, which is the GEMS. The management process just revolve around the four important cycle: goal setting, execution of the plan, measuring results, sustaining operation. To manage an organization, it just involves four important activities: goal setting, execution of the plan, measuring results, and sustaining operations. Now, if you notice in the previous chapters, we have discussed different activities, functions of a manager, like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. Those management functions is already a part of the gems of management. In fact, when we talk about goal setting, that talks about planning. When we talk about execution of the plan, we are talking about organizing and staffing, right? As well as leading. Okay, management is a process, a non-stop process of ensuring continuity and growth within an organization. Diba? To manage an organization, pabalik-balik lang. Management practice is a cycle. Like, you set the goal, execute the goal, measure results, sustain operation, and then once the goal is already achieved, another goal is being set and then execute. So management really is a non-stop process of ensuring continuity and growth within an organization. That is why it always involves goal setting, executing the plan, measuring results, and sustaining operations. And it's very important that the management or the organization can sustain the operation of certain organization to ensure continuity, and growth of an organization. To ensure this, the manager needs to concentrate on fulfilling four critical functions, which are referred to as the four gems of management. Literally, gems are precious stones, right? Likewise, the gems of management emphasize the most valuable aspects of the management process, aspects that serve as the gold mine of management excellence. In fact, so just like precious stones, gemstones, diba, that are said to be precious stones, gems of management also are very precious, most valuable aspects of the management process. In fact, it is considered, or it serves as the gold mine of management excellence, diba? In order to achieve excellence, diba, management excellence, apply the gems, follow the gems of management, because it serves as the gold mine of the management excellence. Okay, the four gems stands for each phase management process: G for goal setting, E for executing the plan, M for measuring results, S for sustaining operations, with sub-functions under each. These gems assume that the framework of a wheel, signifying that the entire management process is a continuous cycle. So it is a continuous cycle. Di ba kita? Like after goal setting, execute the plan, measure results, and then sustain operations. That was the GEMS cycle. There is only one management process with a constant set of stages. The difference is the application of these stages, the phase that a certain organization will be inclined to concentrate on, and the length of time it would for the organization to finish each stage before the cycle begins one more. The GEMS management wheel. So there is only one management process, and that is the gems of management with a constant set of stages. The difference is that how you apply these stages as manager, the phase that a certain organization will be inclined to concentrate on, and the length of time it would for organization to finish each stage before the cycle begins once more. Nakadepende sa imuha as manager, ug nakadepende sa imong workers, and then nakadepende sa imong organization. There is only one process. The difference is that how to execute it, how to implement it, how to make it in reality. Now the GEMS management wheel. So the GEMS management wheel illustrates the management function, the management process, diba? The management practice itself. Like goal setting. Okay, under goal setting class, under goal setting, there are four important sub-stages. Like in goal setting, first stage is to gather and synthesize information, diba? Before putting up a business, gather and synthesize information. Later, I will thoroughly discuss it later. Next, formulate alternatives and decide on course of action. After goal setting, you will go to executing of the plan, diba? After deciding, you have already the goal being set, you have already the plan, so you have to execute it. Organize the plan, communicate what will be the plan, and then guide your workers to accomplish the plan. And then from time to time, there is a need to measure results. That is why you need to evaluate how far you have accomplished, what's imong accomplish or wala pa. So performance evaluation, performance appraisal. And then there is a need to sustain operations, di ba? In putting up a business or handling an organization, dapat ensure nato nga ang organization makasustain siyang operation. Encourage change if possible, di ba? And then develop people. That's it. Stage 1. Stage 1 is all about goal setting. The management cycle begins with goal setting. It's all about establishing objectives for a company or organization. It's all about establishing objectives for a company or organization. It all started with establishing objectives, goal and objectives, as well as plans, diba, for the organization. And in setting goal, dapat set na og long-term goal, and then short-term goal, and then objectives, daily objectives, like monthly objectives, weekly and daily objectives in order to accomplish what is really the goal being set. Objectives and goals are derived from a sound review and understanding of the purpose, vision, and mission of the organization. So, you cannot easily craft, diba, or derive goals and objectives if you have not fully understand what is the purpose, the vision, and the mission of the organization. Dapat, sabton sa nimo, di ba? Manang ang organization, before putting up an organization, crafts ang kadaan of vision, mission, purpose. And then that will be your basis in crafting your goals and objectives. Stage 1, goal setting. So si stage 1, goal setting, G, it includes 4 important sub-stages. Synthesizing information, formulating alternatives, establishing goals, and then, deciding courses and actions, and then establishing goals. So, paano? Process. Okay, 1, synthesizing information. In this primary stage, the manager engages in data gathering. So, in this stage, the manager will focus on data gathering. If his or her company plans to embark on a project, he or she gathers information to find out if it will indeed be feasible or beneficial to the company. Muna yung una na to i-consider. Before putting up a business or business project, you have to consider whether such business is feasible or not, whether such business is beneficial or not. So you have to gather first data, diba? What kind of data that we are going to gather? If one intends to put up a business, data gathering is useful. That is why most business corporations today, business enterprises, before they put up a business, they conduct first research feasibility study or business feasibility study to assure or to know whether the business is feasible or not. Diba? So that is part of data gathering stage, diba? Data gathering stage. It is useful for identifying crucial business requirements as well as market needs and trends. So, determine first business requirements and then market needs and trends. Like for example, mag-market sa ka, like ipaila sa nimo mo imong business, di ba? Mag-market sa ka whether you can have customers or not, because your business cannot consider or cannot thrive without really customers. Now, through data gathering, the manager then discerns whether or not the venture is viable by synthesizing the data. After gathering data, synthesize mo siya, and you can, after analyzing the data, you can now determine whether the business is viable or feasible. So, later class, on ABM students in your research feasibility study, so you will be doing a feasibility study whether to know whether such business is feasible or not. That is actually data gathering. And that is very important in managing an organization. Now, the manager, he or she examines the entire scenario carefully. You have to consider the nature of the business, whether mupatok ba siya ana place, the kind of product or service it will offer, patok ba na siya, its market demand ba na siya sa market, competition, consider also the competition, basig ang imong plano is maligya kag barbecue, imong tanan silingan maligya ka mag barbecue, so competition should be considered. Who will be your customers? The manager assesses each factor and looks at the business in its entirety. Lantawon sa nimo ang kinatibukan sa business, whether feasible ba na siya o dili. From there, he or she makes a conclusion if the business is worth starting. Okay. Number 2. After knowing whether the business is worth starting or not, number 2 is formulating alternatives. I'd like to cite example the case of Mang Juan. Okay, the case of Mang Juan. So I have included it in our um, what is this? Um, Module. Okay, wala na ako siya naklaro sa module. Now, sa case, for example, Mang Juan. Mang Juan wanted to put up a business venture. And then, he is planning, na siya plano nga, mamaligya siya og boiled corn, di ba? Kanang nilungag nga mais. And then before, bisan simple na siya nga business class, before putting up such business, Mang Juan must consider certain information like mag-data gathering sa siya. Mupatok ba ka siya na market demand? Talking about market demand, naa ba kay market demand, 'di ba? This one. And then this kind of product, is it really gidaghan ba og customers nga ganahan sa iyang product na ibaligya? And then considering the competition, naabay laing na maligya o wala. So ibutang nato si Mang Juan, nakita niya nga wala laing na maligya og boiled corn. And then he really believed that it is really demand, di ba, sa market. Now, and then after synthesizing all the data gathered, si Mang Juan nag-consider niya ang presyo sa mais pag-angkat, di ba? Like wala man sa iyang ang pagpalit niya sa product, and then pag pila iyahang profit kung by additional pricing to the product being sold, and then asa siya makuha sa iyang product, raw product. So i-consider to tanan ni Mang Juan. After he all synthesized the data gathered, he will now determine whether the business is worth starting. However, the next step, class, is formulate alternatives. So, dili pa jud final nga mamaligya siya og mais. So, the next step in the gems of management, diba, especially in goal setting, is to formulate alternatives. Through effective data gathering and synthesis, the manager arrives at a decision on whether or not to pursue the business. So, from time to time, na nakay plan A, there is a need for you, di ba? A manager must have plan B and plan C. Ano man, he also come up with alternative or even plan B and plan C in case plan A does not work well. Now, you have already your formulated alternatives. Pag dili mo patok si plan A, na kay plan B, na kay plan C. With enough data on 3 possible business selling, boiled corn, salted peanuts, and banana Q, Mang Juan may now decide on the venture he would pursue. So, deciding on courses of action. Now, in deciding courses of action, he will choose, of course, through set of simple criteria. Ikaw mismo as manager, you will come up with simple criteria, diba? Questions to answer, to answer whether such business is worth starting or not. Now, can he do the job? Like, mamaligya si Mang Juan o boiled corn, can he do the job? Diba? Magpedal og corn. Can he do it every day? Does he like the job? Will there be too much competition among sellers? You must consider it. Will the business be cost effective? Putting his answers on a checklist which compares the advantages and disadvantages of the 3 ventures will help Mang Juan make the final choice. Now, establishing goals is the 4th stage under goal setting. Let's suppose Mang Juan decides to sell corn. The next step is for him to put his decision in more concrete terms. His mind tells him that before he implements his decision, he must first set his goal or operating objective. This means setting daily target revenues from sales within a certain level of budget for expenses in order for him to arrive at an estimated net profit at the end of the day. Now, stage 2. Mang Juan now decided to to put up a pedal corn business, like maligya og mais, and then giset na po niya yung target revenues daily from his sales, and then level of budget for expenses. So nakaset na. Now, that is already the goal set by Mang Juan. Stage 2 in the gems of management is to execute the plan, to execute what is the goal, diba? What is the plan of the manager, or in the case of Mang Juan, what is the plan of Mang Juan? The next phase involves directing the attainment of project or business goals. To do this, the manager or business owner engages in 3 sub-stages: organizing, communicating, and guiding, diba? In order to execute the plan, you must follow 3 sub-stages: organizing, communicating, and guiding. Okay, in organizing, it involves putting together the resources of people, organizing mo, time, money, and materials required to implement the business plan. This includes identifying and purchasing requirements, the corn, the peddling cart, and developing his schedule and peddling route in the city. Organizing. Next, communicating. Diba? I-organize mo tanan. The time, schedule, money, materials needed to implement what is being planned. And then, the requirements, physical requirements, yung kinahanglan. So, yung ibaligya kay corn, and then the peddling cart. And then, yung ruta and schedule in the city. Next, after organizing everything, you have to communicate. The stage of communicating comes in as soon as Mang Juan makes his business purchases. It is expected that he will exhaust all means to find the best corn supplier who can give him the best price. He will also need to communicate to attract his target customers. So, kinanglan na siya communication, marketing strategy, diba? To attract customers. That is under communicating. His advertising tools are simple. He has a sign in his peddling cart that reads, "Mang Juan delicious corn," and he shouts, "Mais, mais," as he makes his rounds throughout the city. That sort of communication, diba? In a simple business. Like, kung mato pa sa large organization or complex organization, dili pa rin na nakasayon, di ba? It would be other marketing strategies suitable for a particular organization. So akong example is a simple business enterprise, peddling corn business. Now, after communicating your product to your customers, di ba? After advertising, there is a need for guiding. Kita man mo i-guide. Guiding will only come in should Mang Juan decide to train his son or hire a helper to assist him in the business. Kung sa case ni Mang Juan, kung i-expand iyang business, kinahanglan siya mo-expand. So, kinahanglan siya mo-train sa iyang anak or ma-hire siya helper to assist him in the business. In a large organization, guiding will come in when the manager will train, diba, develop workers, diba, to train workers to fulfill and to perform their respective tasks and duties. Guiding, he will need to pass on some skills such as choosing the right kind and amount of corn, cooking them properly, product pricing, identifying which parts of the city has most number of corn buyers. You have to guide your workers or your assistant, like sa case ni Mang Juan, in all aspects of the business. As Mang Juan's profits in the corn business increase, he starts thinking again of venturing into more stable business that, considering his old age, will require less physical exertion. Mang Juan again studies his options, and with enough money saved, he decides to sell more goods through sari-sari store business. So, nanapay plano si Mang Juan to put up a sari-sari store business. Okay, plan na po siya, balik na po ta sa goal setting. So, nakaplan na siya nga ma-put up og sari-sari store business, considering enough money saved, and after studying his options, so naka-realize siya nga start na po siya og sari-sari business. Now, Juan will realize that with a store, setting goals and attaining them will entail few more considerations. Moreover, the management of operations gets more complex. For sari-sari store business, organizing will be, it means identifying your networks of suppliers, developing an inventory of your retail goods, and identifying your staff and their roles. Diba? Identify ka kay sari-sari store business. Diba? Especially kung convenience store, dako-dako na siya. You have to organize everything. Identify your network of suppliers, asa ka mangumpra, develop an inventory of retail goods, and then you have really a need of staff, diba, to help to assist you in inventory and selling goods. Mang Juan, for instance, decides to be in charge of the purchasing while he appoints his wife to sit behind the cash register. Their children are tasked to do the inventory every week. There are other factors to consider, such as the schedule of store operations, salaries, etc. Now, the good in business context kasi class, in business, you have to put price in everything, and then tani mo value tanan, like imong kahago tagani po no labor, pilay bayad sa labor, and then makata po salary, di ba? Store operation, you have to consider everything to know really whether your business is profitable or not. For sari-sari store business, communicating include orienting the workforce about business plans, goals, policies, and systems. In this case, Mang Juan as a store manager needs to carefully will run smoothly even while he is out of the store. So, need siya isa communicating aspect, need ni Mang Juan nga i-orient ang iyang workforce about the plan, the goals, policies, and systems. So not just in a complex organization ha nga kinahanglan ng communication, still in a simple business like even sa store business kinahanglan ng communication, like kinahanglan nimo ipasabot tanan ang plano, ang goals, policies, and systems of the business. In this case, Mang Juan as a store manager needs to carefully will run smoothly even while he is out of the store. In a large organization also, as manager, you have to communicate to your subordinates about, diba? There is really a need for good communication between the top management, the middle management, the first line management, and then the workers. Diba? You have to lay down all the plans, the goals, the policies, and the system of the organization to ensure that organization will run smoothly. For sari-sari store business, guiding is done by teaching the workforce to properly relate customers. Guiding. So you have to teach your workforce, like sa case ni Mang Juan, i-guide niya iyang worker, diba? To properly relate customers, especially difficult and demanding ones. So proper customer service, dapat imo na siyang like if your business is more on dealing with customers, diba? You have to guide your workforce on how to deal with customers, especially demanding ones, diba? Difficult ones. As Mang Juan gets older, guiding may even go as far as teaching his son or a trusted member of the family every aspect of the business so that somebody can fully take over the store in the future. Now, stage 3 in the gems of management is all about measuring results. After goal setting and execution comes the third stage in the gems management wheel, that is measuring results. This requires the manager to evaluate how the project or business is progressing towards its goals. So, in putting up a business or in managing an organization, dili ra taman sa execution of what is being the plan, diba? In goal setting and then executing the plan. After executing the plan, there is always a need to evaluate the progress, diba? The progress of the business, the progress of the project, whether asa na siya, na-accomplish ba gid siya o wala. So, there is a need for measuring results or performance evaluation, performance appraisal. Next is Proper evaluation allows the manager to detect deviation from the plan in time to take corrective action. This is done by comparing actual activities with the planned activities. So measuring results, comparing actual activities with the planned activities. So i-measure nimo ang results. Unsa unsay naa sa measuring results? As manager, you have to compare what is the actual activities. Unsay ginahimo na karon in actual, in reality. And you're going to compare it with what is being the plan. Meaning, natuman ba gyud? Gi-perform ba gyud in an actual in actual situation kung unsa ang naplano. So, that is another function of measuring results. Measuring results, back when we was still selling corn, Mang Juan could easily evaluate the progress of his business. If by noon he only makes 200 pesos worth of corn sales with a target income of 800 a day, then he can immediately conclude that he is doing poorly. Like, di ba? Sa simple lang ang business ni Mang Juan sa measuring results. So, implement na niya na maligya check mais. Now, by noon, 200 pa lang iyang income. And then iyang target every day is 800 a day, di ba? 800 pesos. That means that he's doing poorly, right? He's doing poorly. Dapat by noon 400 na iyang income. So, possible there is really in this stage makita niya kung unsay problema sa iyang business. It's either ang quality sa iyang business, ang pag-execute, ang pag-communicate, di ba? Basin ang iyang marketing strategy dili effective. Such event will prompt Mang Juan to find out what caused the sluggish sales. This is what I am talking a while ago. He will check the quality of his product, try another sales tactic, consider changing his peddling route. At the end of the day, he will have to ask himself, did I earn enough? This question will answer the question. This question will guide Mang Juan whether, or will answering this question will help Mang Juan know whether his business is progressing or not, right? So i-find out niya asa iyang problema, like possible sa iyang ruta, di ba? Possible sa iyang quality sa product, dili nice ang quality sa product, and then ang iyang sales tactic or marketing strategy. In the case of the sari-sari store business of Mang Juan, the process of evaluation may not be as quick and easy. It should be understood that with more details to sort out and perhaps a longer grace period in auditing finances, assessment usually takes longer in larger business. It may not be easy to calculate the daily profits of Mang Juan sari-sari store the same way just like peddling corn, because sari-sari store kanog baligya, di ba? Since one must only account for the payables due to creditors at the end of each week, naman yung mangutang, so lista-lista, di ba? Apil to mo kwenta. Only by then can Mang Juan compute his earnings and find out if he is attaining his sales and profit targets. So it may not be easy to calculate the daily profits. So you have to consider all the payables due, di ba? Accounts payable, and then, di ba? Inventory is done weekly, di ba? To really find out whether you are progressing in your business or not. So it is important that in putting up a business, it is important to consider whether you are progressing, the business is progressing or not. Because if the business is not progressing, then why pursue it, di ba? Ngano ipadayon siya. Next, stage 4. We are already in a stage 4, sustaining growth. The management cycle does not end with measuring results, for this is the 4th stage that actually determines the success of the business. So, as what I mentioned kanina, management does not end in executing the plan. Kinahanglan pag i-measure ang results. But also, dili po taman lang sa measuring results. You have to sustain growth. Ano man? Diba? Make sure nimo nga imong business mo grow. Ang operation ma-sustain, ma-continue. Diba? Stage 4, sustaining operation or sustaining growth. In the GEMS framework, this stage is referred to sustaining operations, which include 2 important management functions: developing people and encouraging change. So, from time to time, as manager, you have to develop your people, 'di ba? Do not just stick on what is the usual, 'di ba? Once you develop people, you invest in your people, 'di ba? You invest in your human resources. That human resources can also give return on investment to the organization out from their learning. Like for example, you send your people to training, seminar, workshops, and then um, many more activities. May improve ilahang skills, knowledge in doing the work. Also, ang lang na learn, ilan ang ma-share sa organization, ang maka-benefit still ang organization through return on investment. It's really good to develop on the people of the organization. And then encourage change. Change is the only permanent thing in this world, 'di ba? From time to time, uh, everything will change, 'di ba? The type of the organization, the form, mag-change, um, ang system, ang pamaagi, management style, mag-change, and then ang means or through technology, mag-change, 'di ba? Unsa ang organization sa una, unsa ang karon, lahi na kayo. High-tech na karon brought by technology. That's why an organization must really adapt or must cope up with the changes in the environment. So encourage changes. Only if you are able to ensure the continuity and growth of your company can you say that you are truly successful. You can say that you are truly successful as a businessman if you can ensure the continuity of your business and the growth of your company. Ning grow imong company, na continue imong business. Diba? Okay, promoting change. Change is synonymous with improvement. Therefore, in order to keep improving, you must welcome changes in your company. A good manager promotes creativity and innovation. He is not afraid to take risks that are within reasonable bounds, for it is only through in that he can sustain the growth of his company. If Mr. Chua keeps offering the same 3 snack brands in his grocery, for example, even when 10 new brands have surfaced in the market in the last 3 years, then people will begin to try shopping in other stores, right? Promote change. For example, kay Mr. Chua, kung paminti na siya pamalik-balik sa iyang 3 snack brands sa iyang grocery, then sa uban is nanay 10 new brands. Diba? Wala na siya naka-cope up sa business environment. Then mawala na siya customer. Diba? Because customers will really patronize new, diba, trending products. Another, if he refuses to renovate the interiors of his grocery or at least update his product arrangement, then his patrons will see it less desirable to shop at his grocery store. Also, developing people. To have good people in the company, you must start with the right people. Take note for that class. To have good people in your company or in your organization, you must start with the right people. Who are these right people? Diba? In putting up an organization or in managing an organization, it is very important that you have hired right people. Diba? Right people in the right job, in the right place, at the right time. Like for example, you need an accountant. You look for certified public accountant, right? Or any person knowledgeable in accounting, diba? And then having right people, later you can have good people in the company, diba? If Mr. Chua wants a fast turnout in the cashiering counter, he must hire someone with previous cashiering work experience or someone who is young and is fast learner. Even before the hiring stage, Mr. Chua must have set of criteria for choosing his employees. Purchasers should be meticulous and sharp. The janitor should be thorough, strong, and must know basic electrical tasks and so on. So, it's also good nga mag-hire ka o multifaceted individual or multi-talented individual. Like hire kang janitor, at the same time kanang janitor is kabalo pud og basic electrical tasks, di ba? To save money, Okay, that ends the gems of management, the management process. Take note that the management practice, iba, in managing an organization, patuyok-tuyok na siya sa goal setting, execution of the plan, measuring results, and sustaining operation, and then goal setting again. So management is a cycle. Management is a process, a continuous process of ensuring continuity and growth in an organization. That would be all. I hope you've learned something out from this video lecture. If you have questions, you can comment in the comment section, and then you can message me through our Facebook group and Facebook group chat. Thank you, and God bless us all.